What you have seen here today is a movement. It's not a defection. It's a movement.
We are progressively moving forward, linking Akwa Ibom to the center. That's what we are doing.
Today represents a move between Enugu and Abuja. It represents the Southeast aspiration, connecting to the opportunities of the national.
Because what you see in the system at the moment now is that a winner-take-all syndrome. And that is why it is easy for the party in position of power now to meander, enforce, intimidate, and probably coerce individuals into their party. I can tell you for sure, majority of the people that are moving to party A and party B, as the case may be, are not doing it in their own interest. It's either some of them have a case of EFCC, or either some of them has a corrupt issue that is tied against them. And then the government of the day, of course, in trying to enrich himself with a lot of individuals, we just need to flash some of those particular documents at your face, and then you will come singing the names of the next the political party. So they will go there and probably thinking that they'll end up being a saint. But
story making the rounds about 8 weeks ago that Nigeria was going to become a one-party state. So it puts a light to that. Because there is an opposition of some quality, whatever that quality may be.
It portends a very grave danger for Nigerian democracy, but fundamentally, it shouldn't be so. These governors have no basis, so to say, to defect to other political parties other than the one that they were elected into office. It's not an individual that contests an election, because on the day of the election, the individual name is not even there on the ballot. This is the name of the political party. So the political party should be supreme.
The name that is reigning now is about the one-party state. And I laughed because we have seen political parties who attempt to ensure that they emasculate other political party and call them smaller political party and move in some individuals into their party. Of course, what will happen in the very shortest period of time will be an implosion, which is already started because I heard that some of the persons who have run to the ruling party at the moment are being told that there's no automatic ticket for them.
Something unusual is happening in Nigerian political space. One by one, opposition strongholds are falling, not through war or revolution, but through quiet defection and calculated political engineering. The All Progressives Congress, APC, is not just Nigerian ruling political party anymore. It is becoming the system itself. From the National Assembly to state houses, from the local government to traditional councils, the APC's grip is tightening. And now, many are asking the question that once sounded impossible. Can APC take over all 36 states before 2031? And if it does, what happens to Nigerians' democracy? Because when one party controls everything, it is no longer politics, it is power. Absolute power, unquestioned power. To understand where Nigeria is going, we must look at how we got here. In 1999, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, emerged from the ashes of military rule as the symbol of democracy. For 16 years, it ruled uncontested, controlled over 27 states at its peak, but power, unchecked, breeds arrogance. By 2014, the PDP had collapsed under its own weight, internal battles, corruption and complacency. Then came the APC, a coalition of strange bedfellows united by one mission: remove PDP at all cost. The APC won, and for the first time, Nigeria witnessed a peaceful transfer of power from one party to another. It was historic. But what began as a movement for change soon became a machinery of survival. Over time, the APC learned a dangerous lesson from its predecessor that the easiest way to win elections is to erase the competition. Fast forward to 2025, APC now controls more than 20 states, including some that were once impenetrable PDP fortresses. Governors are defecting not out of ideology, but out of political preservation. Peter Mbah's move from PDP to APC in Enugu was not an isolated event. It was a symbol, a warning that the Southeast, once considered PDP's last fortress, is beginning to fall. Each defection is a piece of a larger puzzle of Nigeria into one-party ecosystem. Let's be honest, Nigeria's opposition is on life support. The PDP is broken beyond recognition, torn apart by ego, money and betrayal. Wike rebellion fractured it, confirmed it. Autumn possible return under APC shadow sealed the fate of what was once Africa's biggest political party, the Labour Party. A movement with passion, but no deep structure. The obedient wave made history in 2023. But politics, like a war, is not won by passion alone. It is won by structure, by ground game, by funding, by control of institutions. And on all those fronts, the APC stands tall, unchallenged. This is how one-party states are born, not by decree, but by decay. When opposition loses its voice, citizens lose their choice. Because democracy does not die in one day. It dies quietly, in silence, in indifference, and in compromise. When governors defect for survival, when the media praises instead of questions, when citizens stop believing that elections can change anything, that's when democracy becomes a ritual and not a right. If APC controls all 36 states, there will still be elections. INEC will still print ballot papers. Voters will still queue under the sun, but the outcome is already known. Let's imagine it. The APC has taken everything, all 36 states, all local government, and both chambers of the National Assembly. What does that mean for Nigeria? On the surface, it may look peaceful. No political tension, no election violence, no endless court battles. But beneath that calm lies the debt of accountability. Because when one party rules alone, it answers to no one. The legislature becomes an echo chamber. The judiciary becomes an instrument. And the people, mere spectators in their own democracy. Corruption thrives where there is no competition. Dissent becomes rebellion. Criticism becomes disloyalty. In countries like Cameroon, Uganda and Zambia, we have seen this story before. Elections that does not change power, only confirm it. Nigeria would risk becoming what it fought so hard to escape. A democracy in name, dictatorship in practice. And when power is concentrated in one place for too long, it becomes too rot from within. Just like PDP once did, just like history always predicts. Because absolute power does not just corrupt, it destroys. But what does all this mean for the ordinary Nigerian? It means no alternatives. It means when your governor fails, you can't vote him out because the next candidate is from the same system. It means when your senator ignores you, there is nowhere else to turn to. The media will grow quiet. Civil societies will get tired and voters will stop showing up because why vote when the result is certain? Regional tensions would also rise. If the Southeast loses all political diversity, if the North feels like it's on the system and the South feels sidelined, the illusion of unity could crack. We could see a surge in separatist agitation, not necessarily from ideology, but from frustration and exclusion. And the youth, once fired up by movement like the NSAS and the 2023 election, might lose hope completely, retreating into apathy. One-party Nigeria is not just a political scenario, it is a societal tragedy. Because when politics closes its doors, desperation opens windows. So can APC be stopped? Yes, but only if Nigerians decide they still want a democracy. The first step is awareness. Understanding that power without opposition is poison. That democracy survives not because one party wins, but because others can challenge. The opposition must reinvent itself, not just as a group of bitter losers, but as a credible alternative, Imagine a strong coalition, PDP, Labour Party and NNPP, joining forces before 2027, a united opposition with one agenda: save democracy before it is too late. Civil society must also wake up. The churches, the youths, and the press. The judiciary must remember its oaths, not to a president or a governor, but to the Constitution. And above all, the Nigerian people must refuse to surrender their voice. Because when citizens stop demanding accountability, leaders will stop offering it. The APC's growing strength may look unstoppable, but history shows no power lasts forever. The same way PDP fell, so can APC. The question is not if, but when and how. If APC takes over the 36 states, it will not be a victory for governance. It will be a funeral for democracy. A nation where power changes hands, but never leaves the same circle. A system where elections exist only to maintain illusion. Where people shout change, but nothing really changes. Nigeria was never meant to be ruled by one voice. It was built on diversity of tribes, of ideas and dreams. If that diversity dies, so does the soul of the nation. So the real question is not whether APC can take over all 36 states before 2031. The question is, will Nigerians let it happen? Because the end of opposition is not the end of politics, it is the end of freedom.